A subreddit has trolled the stock market and caused GameStop's price to skyrocket and a bunch of mean old rich people to lose their money. The subreddit in question is called WallStreetBets. It is a meme subreddit where they just meme stock stuff, but they got kind of bored of memeing visually and wanted to actually meme the actual stock market. The stock in question is GameStop, which was doing really poorly, and it was a target for this subreddit to make it do really well. GameStop was doing poorly because of the virus and because of online sales becoming more and more prominent. And they're a brick and mortar type of business. So it's physical sales. You walk in and you buy the game. And it just wasn't doing all that well. It was getting some bad press. And people were taking advantage of that. And there are ways in the stock market to make money when something is doing bad. The people that take advantage of a stock that's doing poorly are called short sellers, and they are believed to be the majority of the people who own shares of GameStop. That is until WallStreetBets entered the picture and started buying the stock, causing the price to increase. Before we get any further into this, let's answer what short selling is and how it works. Okay, so I'm going to try and simplify this as much as I can. Short selling is when you think a stock is going to do very poorly. You have a really good info or feeling about it, and what you do is you borrow stock. Much like you can get a loan, you can actually borrow stock and you have to return it with interest, okay? So you borrow it at a certain price, let's say $50, okay? And then you wait for it to do poorly. It goes down to $25, which you then buy the stock at $25 and return it to them, to the people you borrowed it from, and now you have a $25 profit on that stock minus the interest. So what happened to the short sellers? Well, it's kind of funny. Short sellers depend on the stock doing very poorly. And since the stock started doing really well because of WallStreetBets subreddit memeing that stock and buying it and causing the price to go up, the short sellers started losing money and started selling the stock. So since short sellers are dependent on the stock doing poorly to make money, when it starts making money, they lose money, and when they're losing money, they want to sell the stock so they stop losing money. So what happened was WallStreetBets came in and started buying the stock and started increasing the price with the hopes that they can do what's called a short squeeze. And that causes the short sellers to start selling the stock so they could stop losing money, and then it makes the price go up even higher, and then more short sellers sell the stock. They got to dump it so they could stop losing money, and it makes the price of the stock shoot up. So basically, a bunch of these guys that were trying to take advantage of a stock doing poorly and make money off of that lost a ton of money, and a bunch of kids on the internet made a ton of money. The question remains, is this legal? We don't actually really know. I guess as of right now it is, because you can just do this right now. But people with a lot of money that can make a lot of big things happen are now lobbying to have the government regulate communities like WallStreetBets so stuff like this doesn't happen again. We'll see if they're successful or not. I think it might be too difficult to control. At the end of the day, it looks like memes from the crypto world, like Bitcoin and stuff, which is very meme heavy, are starting to seep into the actual stock market, which has always been thought of as the more professional and big boy world of investing. And the worlds are now starting to collide. I, for one, accept our meme overlords in the stock market. Not necessarily because I believe in chaos, but because I believe in information. I believe that memes and things like that are what make things accessible to people, okay? I myself, because of the memes and the prestige around this situation, have learned a little bit more about the stock market than I did before. And I think a lot of other people are learning as well. Things like this hitting the news and being a joke attracts people to learn. And with these being only a few threads away from our genitals, we can learn anything we possibly want, and we can have the power to move markets.